Long, long ago, when the forests still whispered to those who listened, and the sky traded secrets with the rivers, there lived a young girl named Adama in a quiet village at the edge of the Sahel. Adama was known everywhere for two things: her bright eyes that noticed everything, and her kind heart that refused to ignore anyone in need. Is to never Boyd. Every morning, Adama fetched water from the faraway river. It was a long walk across dry earth, but she never complained. She greeted every palm tree, every termite mound, every wandering goat, as though they were old friends. And in truth, they were. Hasabarding. One day, as she dipped her calabash into the river, she heard a soft sound, not quite a cry, not quite a whisper. She froze. The bushes rustled. Adama stepped closer and found, tangled in reeds, a tiny old woman, no taller than a child, but with eyes that glowed like deep embers. "Is common whole? Help me, daughter," the old woman croaked. "Pull me out before the river spirits carry me away." When speakious, without hesitation, Adama reached into the cold water and lifted the woman to safety. The old woman shook herself like a wet bird. "You are kinder than most, Adama. For your kindness, I will give you a gift." To Krause, she extended her hands. Between them appeared a small calabash, no bigger than a mango, carved with swirling patterns that seemed to move on their own. "This is a magic calabash," the woman said. "Speak to it with a pure heart, and it will give you what you truly need. But," her voice deepened, "if you ask with greed, the calabash will take more than it gives." Before Adama could ask a single question, the river breeze swirled, and the old woman vanished like smoke. "Is that?" Adama hurried home, confused but curious. Her family had been struggling. The rains were late, and food was scarce. With trembling hands, she set the calabash on the floor and whispered, "Calabash, my friend, we need food." The calabash trembled, then burst open with a gentle hum, and out rolled ripe yams, millet, groundnuts, and sweet mangoes. Enough for everyone. Her mother gasped. Her father nearly dropped his walking stick. Word spread quickly, as it always does in a village. Neighbors gathered, asking her what magic she had done. "I only asked for what we needed," Adama said. The villagers were astonished, grateful, and for a time there was enough for all. But where kindness gathers, greed often shadows nearby. Across the village lived Mansa, the wealthiest man, who believed the world existed to serve him. When he heard about Adama's magical calabash, his eyes turned cold and shiny. "That girl is wasting her gift on common things," he sneered. "Food? For everyone? What foolishness! If that calabash were mine, I would be the richest man in all the kingdoms." And one night, when the moon hid behind clouds, Mansa crept into Adama's home and stole the calabash. He ran into his large compound, barred the gates, and placed the calabash before him. Rubbing his palms together, he commanded, "Magic calabash, give me gold heaps of it, diamonds, cowries, make me richer than any king." The calabash trembled, then shook harder. Mansa laughed, but the calabash did not give gold. Instead, it began to overflow with sand, hot, red, burning sand. It poured out endlessly, spilling across the compound, rising to Mansa's knees, then his chest. In something, he shrieked, trying to stop it, but the calabash ignored him. The more he begged for riches, the faster the sand poured, swallowing his courtyard, toppling his fences. Therefore, the villagers woke to the sound of Mansa's screams and rushed toward the chaos. They saw sand flowing like a river from his compound, burying everything. "Adama!" they cried. "Only you can stop this." Adama, with fear gripping her heart, stepped into the blowing sand. The winds whipped around her like angry spirits. But she walked forward, steady, remembering the old woman's warning. "Ask with a pure heart." "I too." Crawling to the calabash, she laid her hand upon it and whispered, "I too. Calabash, my friend, please, be calm. We need peace." And prisons to found. The calabash shuddered once, twice, then stilled. The sand stopped flowing. But the damage was done. Mansa's compound lay buried. He sat in the middle of the sand, shaking with fear, and hissed out. I only wanted more, he stammered. I am sorry. Adama looked at him gently. The calabash gives what you need, not what you want for selfishness. She lifted the calabash. For a moment, the carvings glowed softly, as if smiling. From that day forward, the calabash stayed with Adama, not to make her family wealthy, but to help the village in times of need. When the rains failed, the calabash provided food. When sickness came, it offered healing herbs. And when hearts grew heavy, it filled itself with sweet water that made people laugh again. As for Mansa, he changed. The sand that buried his home reminded him every day that greed is a bottomless pit. Adama grew into a wise woman loved by all. And the magic calabash? Some say it still sits in her family's home, glowing softly at night, waiting to help those whose hearts remain pure. True wealth comes from kindness, not greed. What you ask of the world depends on what you carry in your heart.